Welcome to Simple Smart Investing Podcast, brought to you by Cory, the founder of Black Creek Wealth Management, a registered investment advisory firm out of Jacksonville, Florida. Information presented is for educational purposes only and does not intend to make an offer or solicitation for the sale or purchase of any specific securities, investments, or investment strategies. Investments involve risk and, unless otherwise stated, are not guaranteed. Be sure to first consult with a qualified financial advisor and/or tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed herein. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. What is Simple Smart Investing? This show is designed to help our listeners think differently about financial topics and investing. Cory has over 15 years of complex trading, investment management, and comprehensive financial planning he wants to share to serve others. The landscape of investing is changing, and to be successful, Cory wants to introduce to his listeners alternative thinking around their investing so they can make impactful decisions to work towards their goals quickly and safely as possible. Thank you for tuning in. And now, let's get to the show.
Hey everybody, Cory Schrader, Black Creek Wealth Management. Hope everybody's doing well and blessed this week. It's the week of February 7th, and this is yet another podcast trying to reach out to you to help you with, just getting through some of this common knowledge that's out there and just giving you a little bit of my take on it, but also just giving you another approach to see if it maybe makes better sense, because some of this wisdom is pretty dated or just unknown. So I just want to empower everybody who's listening in today just to say, hey, you know what? You're just, as long as you're doing something, you're at least in the right direction. So just give you some positive thoughts there. But it's a beautiful day here in Florida. I'm looking outside the windows. It's about 50 degrees and pretty beautiful. So if you're up north, I'm sorry. I got some friends that are up in Boston. They're not happy right now. They're a little bit cold, and I send them pictures of the sun all the time. So it's quite a joke that we do here. So overall, just again want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking about the 4% withdrawal rate. Now this is something that you could go back in the annals of time and ad nauseum, they will tell you that a 4% withdrawal rate is the bogey in which you need to look out for. And I'll tell you a couple things. Rules of thumbs or heuristics are usually there for a reason. I'm sure over time, and again, just to keep people honest and really just trying to help people not think too much about it. 4% was kind of just the basic rule of thumb. Hey, as long as you're just taking out 4%, you should be okay over time, right? And ultimately, I'm here to tell you that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When I'm managing money for clients, I typically tell them 6% is actually a good bogey to work with without really touching the principal or your just initial investing. And really the reason behind that, there's a couple of things that I look at. And ultimately, the biggest thing I want you to know is it really does depend on the person. It depends on what is their situation? It depends on how much money do they actually need versus how much actually has to be grown, especially right now in this market environment. Because let's play with that rule of thumb, that 4% number, right? Well, if you're believing in the markets and you believe that inflation has been coming down and we're close to a 3 handle on inflation, okay, well, that means that prices should disinflate, not deflate, but disinflate over the next couple of months. And ultimately, the Fed is paying right around 4.25 to 4.5, trying to get up to that 5 handle when it comes to short-term money. So you could, in a sense, shoot for that 4% withdrawal rate this year and just put your money in cash. Now, there is inflation that you do need to be a little bit aware of. So that's why people grow their money, is just to try to stay ahead of inflation. But if inflation is basically subdued, you're basically looking at you need about a 6% return this year to cover all your withdrawals and to cover inflation, right? So at the end of the day, if you have, let's say, $1 million, right, and you're taking out, or you only need 20 grand a year or 2% on that money, you could put money in cash. You could absolutely take out that 2% and still get 2% inflation for that 4% handle, right? So basically your money's in cash. You're only taking out 20 because you have Social Security, you have pensions, you have annuities, you have all kinds of things that just maybe even rental income that's just kicking you out money. So you don't really need a lot. So really, is your withdrawal rate 4%? No, it's really about 2%. Now you go for those folks who maybe just don't have as much, or that just really like to live more of a go kind of scenario, like my wife wants to eventually do, where she wants to be traveling all the time. Well, maybe I need to take out about 5 or 6%. Right? Again, $1 million portfolio, you're talking about taking out about 60 grand. Okay. Now, what a lot of people won't tell you, and if you do research, you'll see that on average, a 60% stock, 40% bond portfolio has generated about 8% over the last 30 years. And that's with a standard deviation of about 10. Double it and you got 18. And then do some math to see the highs and lows on that. That's what we do for clients. So when you look at it, you say, okay, if my bogey is 8 and I only need to hit 6, right, to basically cover, I got 2%. There's that inflation handle of 2, right? So are you going to touch into principal? Not necessarily, but also you have inflation. Should it continue at that 2 to 3 handle, you're really only eating into your money by about 1% a year, which is going to take a very, very long time to be able to unwind that. So, when you look at the concept of 4% withdrawal rates, what I would tell you is that it really does just come down to what are you expecting? What do you need? What is your planning when it comes to the actual money that you want? Now, you want to just look at it and just say, 4% is my bogey, no big deal. I get a dividend, I get interest. You don't have to overthink it. But if you really want to maximize what you have, and that's what I love to do for clients, is tell them, stop worrying. You go and play while I pay the bills for you, okay? You may think you need this huge, huge, huge return to basically be on the upper echelon of things, when honestly you really don't. And I think it's because most of us just were never taught this growing up, or didn't have mentors that some of us had. And I've been studying this for 15 years and also applying it with client and my own assets. Prior to launching my own firm, I was managing $250 million for a firm here in Jacksonville. Took them through COVID. And, we were doing just fine. We told people, hey, listen, continue with that withdrawal rate. You're going to be okay. And they were. And, here with my own firm, telling people the exact same thing, managing a little bit differently because I do have some more technical skills that I've developed over the last couple of years. Recently just passed the Chartered Market Technician designation. So I've absolutely been applying that and really helped launch my business about 2 years ago through COVID. So long story short is everyone's situation is not your situation. That's why I tell everybody, if you want a customized and personalized approach, give me a handle or give me a call and I'll take care of you. But overall, when it comes down to the heuristics of the rule of thumb, the 4%, it's true, but it's also not true. If you really want to maximize that number and you really want to take out money, which we love to do here at the Schrader household, is we sat down and said, okay, how much do we want to give the kids? How much do we want to spend each month? What other additional income do we have that's coming in that we can work around to figure out what is really that withdrawal rate that we need to be successful, to pay our estate, to pay the next generation that we want, but also Miss loves to take a lot of trips. So we want to make sure that we spend a little, save a little. So hope this was helpful. Again, 4% rule of thumb, not necessarily for everybody. I honestly believe that you can take out a lot more and still be successful. So again, thanks for tuning in today. Cory Schrader, Black Creek Wealth Management. Again, if no one's told you that they care about you today, please know that I do. I'm here for you. If you got time, you have questions, reach out, and I'm happy to help. Have a blessed day.